Has your life been feeling a little in black and white recently? Maybe you find yourself day after day just going through the motions, almost on autopilot, and completely bored with your life. It's not like you feel like your life is bad, but it just doesn't feel like anything special. You often tell yourself your life will be beautiful when you have more money, when you move out of your hometown, when you can finally afford the $200 boots. But the secret is, you don't need to keep waiting. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to easily add more whimsy and joy to your everyday life to reveal the beauty that is actually already all around you. I feel like a lot of you probably found me from my How to Romanticize Your Life video, and this is kind of like a even more detailed version of that. Obviously, there are situations and things that we can't and shouldn't try to romanticize, but right now especially, I feel like we're all feeling kind of just like the world is spiraling. I feel like I'm losing a lot of control, and so I want to like really hone in on the things that I can control about my day-to-day and make little intentional changes to those things to make the everyday a little bit more special, a little bit more exciting. You may be wondering why I have a microphone, and that is because this is also going to be going on to my podcast. I'll be starting a podcast channel that is solely for my podcast. I'll leave the information down below, but sometimes I feel like I want these to double my main YouTube channel video because I just feel like you guys really like these types of videos. If you want to re-listen to this again over podcast, you can find it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever podcast service you listen to as well. My first tip, and one that I feel like will wrap into all of the other tips that I mentioned, is to do things with intention. If you make yourself breakfast in the morning, instead of just like throwing something together super quick, maybe pick up a couple really pretty vintage plates at the thrift store. And when you put your food together, arrange it nicely on your plate for yourself. Really just the act of like, okay, now I'm eating this cute little breakfast that I made for myself off this cute little plate, like will make you feel like a little pixie fairy. I have like very severe ADHD, and I have leaned on this tip so much. I feel like it is truly something that has helped me get through school and not like fail out of college. So for example, if I need to do my homework, instead of just like being like, all right, flipping open my book wherever I am and starting my homework, couched in my bed in my pajamas, I'm gonna instead get up. I'm gonna wash my face. I'm gonna maybe put on a little outfit that feels a little studious to kind of help romanticize the moment. And before I start studying, I'm gonna clear my space, make my space a space that I want to study in. I recently moved my desk back in front of my window so that I can look out the window when I do my homework, which just I feel like makes the process of sitting down to do any sort of task for a long period of time so much more enjoyable for myself, so I'm much more likely to do it. The gist of this is to make even the smallest of moments, or maybe moments you would usually dread like homework, into a whole experience that becomes a whimsical part of your day by really committing to it and pretty much just doing it to its fullest, whether that's with pretty fairy plates, music to set the vibe, carefully picking out an outfit based on what you're doing to feel like a character out of a movie. Maybe you have to walk to run some errands, but there's a park on the way, and what was once an errands walk suddenly can be a really nice part of your day if you just stop for even just 10 minutes in that park, read a book, or simply just listen to the birds. Nobody else is going to help you make your homework a nice part of your day, so if you can, you might as well go that extra step to do little nice things for yourself to make that moment special for yourself. Okay, the next one is flowers. Having fresh flowers in your space is something that I think you should treat yourself to every now and then. You can get flowers at like Trader Joe's for like $3, and I feel like it can really just lift your mood. It makes me feel like I'm living in a little fairy tale and like you did something nice for yourself. I feel like there definitely is a pattern of just doing nice things for yourself, treating yourself how you may treat other people, that really can just have such an impact on the way that you go about your day-to-day life. Wear vintage PJs or matching PJs to bed. I used to sleep in the same t-shirt for years. That was probably from a musical I did in like middle school, because I was like, who cares what I'm wearing to bed? Nobody's gonna see my pajamas anyway. However, I think the act of doing things for yourself when nobody is watching, therefore eliminating that element of performance, is so important because it reinforces this idea that you deserve nice things, you deserve to have fun and to have experiences with little joys that are all your own, not as a performance for somebody else. So wear the cute vintage slip that makes you feel like a princess, or the matching PJs with the teddy bears on them that make you smile, and enjoy those moments that are just for you. All right, this next one is to keep letters Keep mementos, keep tickets, keep special things in a designated memory box. I have a memory bag that I've been keeping ever since I was a kid with literally letters that my friends wrote me for birthday parties when I was like 7 years old. I have mementos in there. I have dried flower petals from like the first flowers that my boyfriend got me. And if you haven't already begun that, start. Literally one of the most amazing feelings to open up that box every now and then, maybe once a year, and look back on all these little things. I feel like it's just a cute, romantic, really whimsy thing to do. I'm going to be doing a how to stop doom scrolling video soon, where we're going to do a bunch of crafts together, and I think in that video we're going to make a memory box, which I'm really excited about. Go to the craft store and pick out a box and decorate it with your friends and make it like your designated memory box. Not only would the experience of like decorating the box be really fun, really cute, very whimsy, but then you have your box to use. Make your space personalized to you. If you can put little touches into your own space that just feel like kind of add little bits of joy, I feel like that can be so impactful. Obviously, I know that there are like money constraints on decorating a space, but I really do feel like there are little things that can be very impactful in a room. If not anything, bedding is everything. One nice thing of bedding that you really like will completely transform a space. Other little things you can do that are on the more affordable side are printing out your own pictures. You can go to like CVS or the UPS store. They can either be your own personal pictures, or you could print like cute pictures off of Pinterest and use those to decorate your walls. Some other ideas are hanging up things like ribbon, hanging up things like maybe newspaper, doing cool like collages in that way. That's just very creative and kind of using the things that you may already have. If you want to do something like sticky wallpaper like I have here, I only have one wall wallpapered, which took about one roll. If you just do one wall, instead of trying to wallpaper your entire room, it could be significantly cheaper. I've even seen people do wrapping paper on their walls with like double-sided tape. If you go to the thrift store and the antique stores, over time you will find things that really like spark some joy. For me, some of my favorite things are I have this vintage lamp I love. Boyfriend gave me this vintage jewelry box that is so beautiful. It's lined with pink satin, and I keep all of my jewelry in it that I've collected. It's something that brings me so much joy. Other little things that I've done in my room to just make my space feel a little bit more unique, placing like plastic containers with like vintage teacups to hold my makeup brushes and little things like that. Adding cards to your wall, I feel like is such a whimsy thing to do. Not only is it cute, very aesthetic, and can add to like a wall collage, better yet if they are cards that you have actually been gifted. I know I have one card on my wall that is just a really special one from my mom, and it's cool because it's taped to my wall, but I left the inside of it like open so that if I want to, I can literally go over to my wall, open it up, and read these sweet words from my mom that just brighten my day. And like, how whimsy is that? Have little whimsical things in your bag, like good luck charms. That's maybe a lucky necklace. Have a little cute handmade pouch that has tissues, hair ties, or tampons to hand to the girlies in need. Carry around a little journal for random thoughts that you have and whip it out whenever inspiration strikes, no matter where you are. Have a little travel size version of your favorite scent and designate one of your lip glosses as your lucky lip gloss. Next thing is gamifying your life in little ways. If you have ADHD, you may have heard the term gamify your life, but I think it is useful for everybody, no matter or not if you also have ADHD. Gamifying my life is something that has helped me out so much, and it basically means like if there is a task that is hard for you to do, making a little game out of it. For example, I feel like something I at least struggle with, and we all probably struggle with, is just keeping our space clean. So if it's like cleaning in my room, the game will basically be, can I finish cleaning this room by the time this 10-minute timer runs out? All of a sudden, I'm in like X Games mode, like crazy cleaning my room, because it's like quick, I have to get it done. I only have 10 minutes to do it, and it feels just more exciting, I guess, and it tricks my brain into wanting to do it. And yeah, I felt like I could include this on the whimsy list, because making a game out of the hard things that you really are putting off and don't want to do, I just think really is helpful. Same thing with like doing my homework. This next one is having little routines. And I'm not talking about a morning or a night routine, but having little routines. Like for me personally right now, I'm very into my tea routine and my matcha routine. I like fell onto tea TikTok recently. For myself, cultivated my own little tea routine, which in the morning I like drink a green tea before any of my other foods. I try to like wake up my digestive system, and then I'll have a matcha with my breakfast, and I'll make my matcha exactly how I've learned to make it over the weeks, and I've like put time into learning how to make it the way I perfectly like it. The little routine of it just feels so fun. It's something I can count on each day. It feels kind of romantic and it feels nice to myself, which I feel like all in all is again just that thing of doing little extra nice things for yourself.
Hi guys, my voice sounds a little bit different. It's because the last clip I filmed like a week ago, directly after filming it, I started feeling really sick, and then I was completely out for like a full week. So I'm sorry if you can still hear a little bit in my nose. If you're watching the visual or on YouTube of this, you can tell what a beautiful day it is now. It is literally the first warm day. It is 60 degrees. I woke up just in such a good mood and went for a walk this morning, and I was just feeling in the mood to record today, so here we are. And you know what, that leads me to my next little tip, which is just to get outside more, touch grass, literally go hug a tree. Get in the habit of building outdoor time into your day-to-day life so that it doesn't feel like this big crazy, oh my god, I have to get outside hurdle. If you ever feel like the inkling of, hey, maybe I should go for a walk, literally get up and immediately go. You want to roll with that momentum and just get yourself out there, because once you're out there, you might end up like me this morning and walk for like 2 hours and like not want to come inside. I literally felt like a dog. Part of that is definitely that I live in the Northeast and haven't seen the light of sun in what feels like 9 months. In general, I just want to make that a part of my day-to-day life, and you seriously will always feel so much better after going outside. So find nature places near you that you feel safe and comfortable, that are easy for you to get to, that make the habit of getting outside and into fresh air an actual habit. And when you are outside, do things like a color walk, which is where you go on a walk and you pick a color at the start of the walk and you point out every single thing that you see that is that color. I feel like that really just helps you stay present and can kind of help you just really romanticize the walk a little bit more. Take pictures of things that you see on your walk. Stop to say hello to cats that you see crossing the street, people who are walking their dogs, and say hello as you walk by other people. I feel like that is sometimes the most wonderful whimsy thing you can do, and you probably are also adding some whimsy and joy to that person's life as well. This time of year is often one of the hardest times for me because, at least where I live, we have something called literally mud season, where there's no snow, but there's also no leaves on the trees. The flowers haven't come up and it's just muddy. And oftentimes this is the time of year where I am just like, please, can we just get to June? Like, can we just skip March, April, and May, because I'm just thinking this is super ugly and just not enjoying myself. But if you're constantly doing that with certain seasons or certain like months even, you're literally just wasting that month, constantly just thinking about how can I get to the next month. My boyfriend said something to me recently that literally changed my perspective on this. He said, if you're lucky to live like a full long life, like you probably only have 75 to 100 Marches in your life. So are you really gonna spend this March just complaining about it? Oh my gosh. Wait, you're right. I've already had 25 Marches in my life. Why am I gonna spend this March being super unpresent, just wanting the next month to come? Some people may be blessed with great weather all year round, but other people I feel like can really struggle with this and constantly just be living in hopes of like the next season. I feel like once you are able to better romanticize each season and find the little things that are really nice about each month, some ways that I like to do this are making Pinterest boards for every single season to kind of help myself get in the mood and romanticize it, watch TV shows and movies set in that season to help myself romanticize it. I make music playlists for every single season that make me just feel like that moment and just really try to lean in to that season. I'll even, for me, like go so far to like kind of coordinate colors in my outfits to each season. In the fall, I wear a lot more brown and green and like darker colors, and then in the winter I'll wear a lot of pink and white and just try to like feel like a snow fairy. And then in the spring and summer, I love to just wear like a billion different colors. That just makes me feel like a flower fairy. And these things like may sound super silly, but to me, I really do feel like they have helped me so much be a happier person and just live a little bit more in the moment. Make wishes, okay? Make wishes. I know all of you as a kid probably made a wish on a star, and I don't know if you still do that anymore, but you should. Whenever you see 1111, the number, make a wish and say it out loud. Tell everybody else, hey, 1111, make a wish. I feel like that is something that is very whimsy and definitely adds some joy to my life. Eat a little piece of chocolate or some sort of sweet treat before bed. I feel like a little sweet treat to end the day, at least for me, always just tops the day off in a really sweet note. Recently, I've been loving the Trader Joe's little mini vanilla meringues. Oh my gosh, that with raspberries on a little vintage tea plate. It's like a little fairy dessert, and I love it. Personalize things in your life. This doesn't need to be overnight. I feel like this could be literally a lifelong journey of trying to find things. Your signature scent, finding your signature favorite nail color, finding your signature necklace, finding a necklace that you wear every single day that kind of just feels a little bit magical, and maybe even like a good luck charm in a way. Your favorite way to do your hair, embroider your name onto things, paying attention to what you like, what you don't like, and finding little things that are like special to you. It shows yourself this like love that you have for yourself, which is whimsical and will add joy to your life. Random dance parties. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I forgot that I have free will to have dance parties in my room whenever I want, until recently. Recently, the past couple weeks, besides this last week when I was sick, I've been having dance parties like every single day. That may sound a little crazy, but I swear it has added so much whimsy and joy to my life. I feel like a different human these past couple of weeks. I think it's because of the dance parties. I know this may sound like it's a bit, but it's literally not a bit. I've been putting on my big noise canceling headphones and just blasting my favorite songs, mostly Ariana Grande. I swear it has literally made my days so much better. Jazz music, French music, use it to your advantage. Turn it on when you are cooking, romanticize, making yourself a meal. If I'm like at the grocery store by myself, I love putting in my headphones and listening to like jazz music while I pick out ingredients. It just kind of romanticizes going to the grocery store. I feel like that can just add a little bit of whimsy to a chore that we all have to do. Wear perfume to bed. I always just feel a little bit like I'm romanticizing life. It's a little bit extra special when I put on a little bit of perfume before bed, or when you use like a bed pillow mist. Oh my gosh. These are like little luxuries that we often just like skim by and don't give ourselves the time of day to do. Will just make you feel extra special and make something as simple as going to bed feel a little bit extra whimsy. Revisit old hobbies without the expectation of perfection. Revisiting hobbies from when you were a kid that you used to love, or even just starting new hobbies that you've been wanting to start for a long time but maybe have been too afraid to do because you have this like expectation of perfection, I feel like will change your world. So let go of the perfection. Literally go to that dance class that you have been too afraid to go to. It's okay not to be the best at something. You're never going to get good at anything without going through a period of not being good at it. So just go through the period of not being good at it and remember that every other single person who has done that thing also went through that period. Learn to laugh at yourself, learn to like have fun with that moment in time where you will be learning something new, where you will be making more mistakes than ever before. Because if you have this like expectation of perfection that's holding you back from even trying that thing, then you'll just miss out on that thing altogether instead of just maybe moving through that little awkward period. For example, I sew, and adding sewing to my life I feel like has helped me so much with like my anxiety, to manage stress, and has just been this thing I can turn to that is mine and is fun and feeds like the creative inside me and lets me like get that out somewhere. And if I were to hold myself back because my sewing is not perfect, I would not have sewed one single thing that I've ever sewed, because nothing I've ever sewed is perfect. So go to the pottery class, go to that dance class, start knitting, start a sport. add that thing to your life instead of denying yourself it altogether. And speaking of that, if you don't already have a creative hobby that you do with your hands, I highly suggest you get one. There are so many. I have a whole video on 100 plus creative hobbies you can do when you're bored, but anything from sewing to painting, drawing, crocheting, bedazzling things, you name it. I feel like with this whole whimsy conversation, one thing that I think has added maybe the most whimsy to my world is creative hobbies, because of how it's allowed me to like have fun when I'm by myself, not on my phone. And there's nothing less whimsy than your phone. You can turn on a podcast or an audiobook in the background, which is what I love doing, and just completely like focus in on that thing that you're creating. And when you're done creating it, you've just added something else that's beautiful and pretty into this world, which I feel like is just really cool and always makes me feel so just fulfilled in a way when I see the thing that I just made. Invest in your space and your wardrobe in pieces that feel like you and make your space feel like you, but over a long period of time. If you can, do it vintage. I think that there is so much more whimsy in taking the time over a long period of time to like cultivate pieces for your closet that feel like you, cultivate pieces for your space and your home that feel really special. And having those pieces being vintage, I feel like just adds this extra whimsy and charm and like kind of magic to them, opposed to like running to Marshall's to grab everything for your room in one fell swoop, or like hopping on Princess Polly and shopping a brand new wardrobe overnight. There's absolutely no magic in that. It might be fun in the moment, but not only down the road will those things not really hold that much meaning to you, you might just completely lose interest in them altogether. Whereas if you like really take the time over a long period of time, even years, to do so, I think that each of those pieces, because it was kind of this thing that you had to find and search for, really specifically choose, make those pieces just hold so much more meaning. And all of a sudden, they have become whimsy. Lockets and putting a picture in your locket. This is actually something I really need to do. I've like collected so many heart lockets at this point, and none of them have pictures in them. So this is actually a little bit of whimsy I want to add into my world. It's on my whimsy list. I really want to add just some cute pictures into my locket. My family, my boyfriend, my friends. I just think that would be so cute and really special and just add extra meaning. I've even seen lockets on eBay and stuff that still have pictures in them, which I think is so precious. But like, we don't really take the time to do that anymore because all of our pictures are just on our phones and we don't always think to print them out. But doing it in like little creative ways like that, I just think can be so cute.
Light the candle. Set the mood in your space. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to light a candle. You are celebration enough, and you deserve to make your atmosphere cozy and nice. Another really whimsy thing is to thank your candle before you blow it out. Collect trinkets, and I mean a lot of them. Don't let anybody shame you for your love of trinkets. Go to antique stores, go to garage sales, collect little things that speak to you and bring you joy and fill your space with them.
If you have long distance friends, doing things like sending each other letters would be so cute. Last year, I sent a bunch of people in my life Valentines for Valentine's Day. I cut out and made a bunch of Valentines and actually just sent them in the mail. And the messages I got back, everybody loved them. It seemed to really make a lot of people's days. Very rarely get letters in the mail anymore. Even if your friends aren't long distance, like writing them a little like love letter or like little appreciation letter, I feel like would be so cute and would make their day and would be really fun to do. Here's to writing more letters to our friends and loved ones in this next year. Using a tiara or flower crown to hold my hair back when I do my makeup, because why not? I recently started doing this. You should too. It makes you feel like a princess, gets your hair out of your face when you're doing your makeup. So long are the days of little pins holding your hair back when you do your makeup, and hello to a tiara. And with that, sparkly eyeshadow, because why not? Let's have fun again with our makeup and fun with our outfits and colors, and just not be afraid of things like sparkles or bright colors, pattern mixing, all of that. Go for a walk in the rain. There is a whole world out there that you just never see because you don't go outside when it rains or when it snows and you stay inside. You might not have any idea what your little walk looks like in the rain because you've never done it. I recently started student teaching at a kindergarten. If it is raining, we still go out for recess. And this past week we went out and the kids were just so excited about their umbrella. They were splashing in puddles. They were just literally having the time of their lives. And I kind of got to thinking, you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I need to do that more often. I need to experience the world in different forms instead of just only accepting it when it's like beautiful weather outside. It is never bad weather. You only have bad clothing. So grab a rain jacket, grab an umbrella, and go outside, even just for like 5 or 10 minutes, and just check it out. Paying more attention to local things in your area. Pick up your local newspaper, read what's happening, look at local like pinup boards, stop by little libraries, and maybe leave something in a little library near you. I feel like getting connected with your own community can help you so much. Just feel a little bit more connected, realize the cool things that are actually probably going on in your area that you had no idea were going on. I think that can really help to add some joy and whimsy to your world, and just kind of romanticize where you are, where you live, add some context to what's around you, and yeah.
Stop being nonchalant. It is literally the thief of joy. I think growing up, it often felt like in order to be cool, you had to be super nonchalant and basically just not care about anything. It felt really uncool to care about your outfit or to put on sparkly fun makeup, and if you did, you probably experienced that one person at school making you feel bad about it, saying something like, "Why are you so dressed up today?" Or, "Oh my goodness, who are you trying to impress with all of that makeup?" Maybe you felt silly for caring a lot about something that you were interested in. Maybe the idea of a themed birthday party is so fun and exciting to you, but when you brought it up to your friends, they all laughed and called it childish and cringy. But I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to lean into those things. Surround yourself with people who encourage you to be a little bit cringy. It is in the air quotes cringy moments that you are going to find some of the most fun, special, and whimsical moments of your life. And you are doing yourself a disservice denying yourself those moments. The people who will judge for those things are honestly probably just jealous that they aren't brave enough to also lean in. And anybody worth surrounding yourself with will want to join in with you. So wear the fun outfit, talk about the things you're interested in, throw the themed party, laugh as loud as you want when you think something is funny, make yourself a snack plate on a cute vintage plate, and do the things you sometimes feel a little bit self-conscious to do.
Anyway, it is getting dark, so I think I'm gonna stop this now. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Comment down below any sort of ways that you are adding whimsy into your life, anything you would like to add to this list, because I want to know. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.